Alright, so let's try this again. Um, my name's Sean from Deweese Graphics and Vinyl. You can find us on Facebook. Um, I want to give you a little bit of insight on how I got to where I am, how I got started with doing this, and just as short and sweet as possible, as an intro to building a business on a budget, and especially a vinyl business. It's mainly geared towards vinyl business, but the stuff can probably be tailored to whatever you would rather do. But obviously you're probably watching this if you're into, or you're probably into vinyl if you're watching this. So, I growing up, I worked on my grandparents' farm. And then I've done, I moved into working and running a construction company at different times. Um, I I went to college for a while for automotive, and realized with the industry, you had to work at a dealership to really make much money unless you owned your own shop. And I really wasn't happy with the way dealerships ran, the politics of a dealership, and how if you really knew enough, not saying that all dealerships, but their basic goal is to alleviate you of your money. I mean, that's any business, you're in business to make money, not, but there's just things that, I won't get into. And then I sold scrap iron for a while. I hauled scrap when scrap was really high, I had the ability to do it at my pace that I wanted. And I basically worked like 8 hours a week, split between 2 days. Some weeks I did a little more if I wanted to have a little more fun money, but I hauled enough to pay my bills and have some beer money, some fun money. Really didn't have a whole lot of bills at the time. And then I got into buying stuff from auctions and taking it to flea markets. Actually, the same guy I got the scrap iron from, he had rented a space out, and rented one of his sheds out, and the person just couldn't get a hold of him after like 2 years. And so that was like some of the first stuff, not the only. I had some of my stuff too, that when my girlfriend and I started doing it together, my dad's dad, as I was growing up, did flea markets and stuff. So, and when my daughter was born, we moved to where we are now. We live below the store space, which is where we're in now, in my office. And my landlord was like, "Hey, I got that space. You want to start a business?" And so I did. I put an antique store in here. We still did flea markets and stuff. I was also working at a meat packing plant for a little while, and I got off work. Excuse me. And went to meet up with my girlfriend at the flea market. Walked around. Met up with a guy I bought a lot of furniture off of when I first started my shop. And I always say hi to him when we're there. He happened to have a cutter. It was something I had wanted for a long time, because I've grown up racing and running demolition derbies, and all my friends, or a lot of my friends and stuff. And so I have a lot of connections with it. And I was like, I could probably do this cheaper. And so I'd wanted to do it for a long time, and I come across this cutter for $100. The software was outdated. You couldn't use it. It needed a part. So I ordered the part. I got software. I got vinyl. I got a heat press and heat press vinyl, and a mug press with a bunch of mugs that I've never used. And that's how I got started. And then since then, I've gotten a new cutter. I've gotten 2 new heat presses. My first press was a U.S. cutter, 9x12 swing arm. And it was all right. I'd done up to 3X shirts on there. And then I've upgraded since to a year ago. I got 2 15x15 clamshell U.S. cutter. U.S. cutter. 15x15 clamshell heat presses. And then I have a Titan cutter. It's smaller than my first cutter. My first cutter was a 36 inch, 34 inch, whatever. MH871. This is a 28-inch Titan. It's not the servo motor. I'll go into that more when we talk about cutters. I have a hat press now. We do hats. You know, when you're on a budget, you've got to be creative. It's really hard to make samples and stuff so that your customers can see, you know, what you do, so that you can run a business. But I've basically put this business together on a very strict shoestring budget, nickel and dime, you know, add stuff when I could. And it's been really hard to get to just this point, and you know, it's up and down on how consistent we are. But you know, I've done several things. This is probably the longest thing I've ever done. I mean, other than construction and work in factory. But you know, this is something I love to do. It's very hard. I know this probably wasn't the best, most in-depth like I wanted to. I've had to make this video a few times just to sorting it down, because for whatever reason it won't upload right with my iPhone, and I just didn't feel like putting it on the computer. So, you know, I hope this gives you an idea that you can it's probably not the best look at how I got from point A to point B. And I'll eventually do a more in-depth video and kind of explain some things a little better. But, you know, you don't always have to stick with the same thing for years and years and be unhappy. You know, it takes time to find something that fits you perfectly. You know, there's jobs I've had that I love just as much or better, but, you know, my grandparents don't own the farm anymore, so just different things like that. You know, but I found something I rather enjoy doing, and allows me to spend time with my family when I'm not sitting up here in my office hiding out. And those of you who have kids, there are days when you're going to want to hide out. But no, I love it because I get to spend time with my kids. You know, if I don't have anything going on up here, I can hang out with my family. And, you know, my girlfriend works outside of the home. But running this business, you know, I'm able to not have to have a babysitter and spend family time, but I'm also, you know, I also make a good living at it. So I got the best of both worlds. I can kill two birds with one stone. I get to be with my family and make money. So in future videos, we'll talk about equipment, we'll talk about marketing, things like that. Hopefully I'll get the iPhone thing figured out. So also, if you haven't figured out by now, occasionally I get a little off topic and ramble. Squirrel. But, you know, if you have any questions about, you know, equipment or anything like that, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them, either replying or show you in or explain it in a video. But I hope you guys liked this. It was just, you know, a quick A to Z to kind of introduce. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to hit the camera. It was just a quick video to introduce, you know, the series. So I think the next one's going to be cutters. It may be heat transfer vinyl. I'll bounce around a little bit. But thanks for watching. Again, like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. Let me know in the comments why you didn't like it, or let me know what you want to see. Click the subscribe button, ding that little bell so you know when we post something. And I'll do my best to do at least one video a week from now on. And as things pick up, we'll do 3 to 4 if things pick up enough to kind of do. So thanks for watching.